confidence. This can go to a speed of 225 km per hour, but mind you, it will take to the 225. If you are someone who actually values acceleration more than the speed, this is a motorcycle for you. What's up YouTube? Look what we have today. The most handsome, the masculine Ducati Monster, the latest edition, the 2025 variant, and I'm so happy to ride this motorcycle. It's the third day with the motorcycle, and thanks to VFM Ducati for providing this longer riding experience. And always the Monster is one of my favorite motorcycles from the Ducati lineup to ride. In fact, almost all the motorcycles from Ducati is favorite to me, but this has a special place in me because this has got a lot of character from the beginning, like 1990s and those times. The Monster was designed for a masculine, a heavier, a bulky looking muscle man motorcycle. So this is the latest version of it, and this comes with a Termiani exhaust as well. Looks damn awesome, man. So by the way, it's very dirty because it was raining in the morning. Good motorcycles, and we start with rains, hence proved. So let's have a look into the design. So look at the DRLs, a beautiful looking DRL, and look at that indicator, man. It's a sequential indicator, very neatly integrated to the body, and the tank, as always, a masculine. The previous version of Monster used to have a little more bulkier tank, but now we have a sleeker tank. And the seat, it's actually a scoop seat, so you sit over here, and this kind of a scoop, and the rear seat actually is meant for the rider completely, because when this pulls really hard, you need some support from the back. And the L-twin, that's the L-twin, 937cc L-twin, and 11 degree. That's why it has a very peculiar sound. It's unlike any other two-cylinder. It's so sweet. It's around 111 bhp, 90 plus newton meters of torque. That too in the beginning, you get it instantly. And coming into the tail section, again, I cannot take my eyes off the Termi. It looks so nice. And again, look at that indicator, sequential indicators, looks so nice. So tail light also looks very nice, beautiful looking motorcycle. In fact, a masculine looking motorcycle. So we are in the touring mode. So in the touring mode, we have the quick shifter on by default anyway, the traction control in 5, ABS 3, wheelie control 3. Sorry, my voice is a little bad, I have a pretty bad cold. So let's change the riding mode, not urban. I'm gonna put it onto the sport. Let's see what all we have in sport. So traction control is in 8, ABS 2, wheelie control 2, and the quick shifter is on. So very basic switches here. If you are onto Ducatis, this is kind of home. Here we have the up and down toggle switches to go through this, and the high beam and the low beam, the pass switch, and this is the OK or mode button, whatever you can call. And here we have the horn, and on this side we have the typical Ducati kill switch and the DRL switch and a caution lamp. So let's fire it up. Damn, we are in the sport mode, but we don't have too much of good road. Whoa, man, whoa. The power delivery is insane. You get this kind of a power delivery only from a two-cylinder. You cannot expect this kind of a performance from a four-cylinder, 100%. And the Monster actually did it in a very, very different way. As I said, it's a 937cc, enormous amount of torque, and the other thing is this actually weighs somewhere around 185 kg. That means it's almost equivalent to the heaviness of the other 400 to 500cc motorcycle you see in Indian market now. That too, it's almost close to a liter class now. So that's why this insane amount of power. It has a wheelie control. That's the reason why the power is not completely delivering. Otherwise, if I turn off the wheelie control, of course I'll be getting a wheelie. The ride is a little onto a stiffer side. The suspension setup is a bit onto a stiffer side, but it has got a lot of confidence. This can go to a speed of 225 km per hour, but mind you, it will take to the 225 in the most insane way. So as I said, the motor is very, very, very practical for a city use. It's not a highway motorcycle, so for the city it's kind of an insane super bike. The thing is, these two cylinders doesn't feel so happy riding it in the 6th gear, so let's be in some sane speeds when I talk. So the suspension is actually a bit onto a stiffer side, and I have seen people taking this motorcycle to the track. In my opinion, I'll say that motorcycle strictly belongs to street or on the track. On the highway, actually, we'll be getting a lot of wind blast onto the chest, and as I mentioned, the seat is actually scooped up, so that's one reason where we can comfortably sit on that. So if it was a flat seat, the rider would have flown away even before the motorcycle starts off. And the handlebar is actually wide, very nice and commanding riding posture. I really love it. It's a little bit of sporty riding stance to the upper body as well as to the lower body, giving a good feel that it's a street fighter. But the street fighter is actually a different genre of motorcycle from Ducati, but this also feels like a muscular street fighter. Basically, the street fighter lineup has been like the younger sibling of the Panigales, be it the V4s or the V2s. So the Street Fighter actually sets into a place like that. But the Monster always has takeovers. I'm 100% sure about that. And the brakes are amazing, brilliant. I really love it. The feedback of the brake is really good. It's a little onto a advanced side because just 180 kg and this kind of a braking is too much. The reason is because when this pulls you hard, even beyond 200, you need that kind of a stopping power, and since the bike is actually just that light, brake feels so damn awesome. And also it has a little bit of heating issues. I was riding inside city yesterday, so if you're slogging inside city, obviously it is a Ducati, it will heat up, but not as bad as my Desert Sled or any other older Ducatis. So the newer Ducatis are actually running very nicely, and I really love the kind of electronic package this has. The wheelie control, traction control, cornering, ABS, all sort of things. I'll say that the wheelie control is the most important feature on this one, because anytime this can pull a wheelie. I mean, I don't really say that it can pull a wheelie in the 4th gear, but put it on to the 2nd gear and it can easily do a rolling wheelie. And the clutch feel is actually onto a little harder side, but I really love the way how this looks, and the leverage of the clutch. There is not too much of clutch play, so that is okay, but most of the time you can actually use the quick shifter, which is very responsive. It's a 2-cylinder, so you have to be a little careful on the RPM. You have to be at least, the RPM should be at least 2 to 3k so that you can comfortably use the quick shifter. But otherwise the quick shifter shift is so nice, and the sound of the exhaust in between, especially the Tommy, it is too nice. The overall package, I'll say that looks so different from the previous version of Monster, which I have featured in this channel, and this one actually has got a place in my heart just because how the way it looks, how the way it passes is so good. And to the ownership parts, this actually sells for around 16 lakh and change on road Bangalore, and for an annual service you can expect around 12 to 14k of service charges. And the mileage expectation is 19 km per liter, but I think that's a little optimistic value. So Ducati claim that it's 19 km per liter, but I'll say that once you start riding this motorcycle, you don't really feel like riding it for the mileage. Really. So let me just really quickly jump into the verdict of the motorcycle. So if you are planning for a super bike, I'll say that definitely look for this one. Maybe you have competitors like Z900, the Street Triple 765 R or RS, or any other motorcycle you can think of. I'll say that just give a try on this motorcycle. With this price point, I'll say that this is a huge value for money. It doesn't give you the feel of an inline 4. Maybe the Street Triple can do better speeds because it's a triple and it is designed like that, but you know, the 0 to 100 on this motorcycle is like insane. If you are someone who actually values acceleration more than the speed, this is a motorcycle for you. And if you are taking it to the track, 100% sure that this is going to be a very great motorcycle if you are looking for an upright, a lighter motorcycle. So when it comes to liter class motorcycles, the thing is most of the liter classes are actually 200 or even 220 plus kg. So that's not a really good sign if you are not comfortable riding a heavier motorcycle. By the way, everything matters, skill matters, so you don't have to worry about it once you learn it. But if you have to start learning in the track, then Ducati Monster is one of a great motorcycle. And also many thanks to VFM Ducati Bengaluru to provide this motorcycle for a longer ride. And of course I'm a Ducati owner, so that's one reason why I'm in touch with them. And through this channel itself, I have sent out few news of the Ducati scam which happened in Bengaluru. So these are not that guys, so they are a different branch, and I think that showroom has been closed down. So these are the new guys. So the VFM has Honda as well, so I've been in touch with them for a very long time. So these are the good guys, so you can go and check them out. And also if you are going to purchase this motorcycle from VFM Ducati, just mention my name. Even if you don't mention my name, nothing matters, actually the services will be same, but yeah, just mention my name when you go there. So that's my quick review on the Ducati Monster, a highly monstrous motorcycle. And I was actually reading through the history of the Ducati, and got to know that when they wanted to name this motorcycle in Italian language, so when they came up with the name, Monster, they were like a little skeptical that, okay, is it a very aggressive name? Should we really name a motorcycle like that? Then the designer of the motorcycle actually showed the potential of the motorcycle. The other people in the company actually agreed for the fact that we will have this name for the Monster. And later in 2000s and 2010, there were 600s, 800s and 900s for the Ducati. And then the 800cc became one of the most selling Ducati overall world, which makes up to the fact that this is a very lovable motorcycle in the international market. Really no doubt, because it's one of the most masculine motorcycles. Yeah, obviously in US these Harley Davidson used to be the masculine motorcycle, but when it comes to other part of the world, people value L-twins. L-twins are like so much fun, man. So that's it. That's my quick video on the Ducati Monster. I hope you like this video, and as always, show some love in the form of likes and comments. See you in the next video. Until then, bye bye. Can't really get through the third gear for the red line. I could do a 175 to 180 in the third gear, but you know, the bike is almost lifted at that time.